Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Thursday night. We have several developing stories as we come on the air. The case here in New York City that made national news. The college student murdered in the park. Her father had to leave the courtroom today. The sentencing. But we are going to begin tonight with the pandemic in this country and a major new step. An FDA advisory panel today voting unanimously for Moderna's booster shot. It's now on a path to emergency authorization. That same panel takes up the Johnson & Johnson booster tomorrow. Now, this Moderna booster shot discussed today will be for people 65 and older, and for those 18 and older with medical conditions or jobs that put them at higher risk. It would be a third Moderna shot 6 months after the first two. And this Moderna booster would be half the dose of the first two. That panel is set to discuss that Johnson & Johnson booster tomorrow, as well as this notion of mixing and matching different vaccines. And the decision on the Pfizer vaccine for children 5 to 11 years old likely coming in weeks. And President Biden just today saying the government is ready with doses for the 28 million children who would be eligible. But first tonight, the boosters, what we learned today on Moderna, and ABC's Whit Johnson leading us off.
Tonight, booster shots for millions of Americans who got the Moderna vaccine, now a major step closer to authorization.
We do have a unanimous 19 out of 19 yes votes, and that concludes the voting portion.
A key FDA panel voting unanimously to recommend that third shot 6 months after the second dose for anyone 65 and older, 18 and older at high risk from an underlying health condition, or 18 and older whose job may put them at greater risk for exposure to the virus. If the full FDA and CDC sign off next week, Moderna booster shots would roll out to the same groups now eligible for the Pfizer boosters.
Given that Pfizer blazed a trail with its booster, it made sense that Moderna would follow suit. There were no safety signals involved, and what we're trying to do is bring your immunity up to the point when you were first vaccinated, and essentially these boosters will do that trick.
The Moderna booster would be only a half dose after data indicated that was enough to restore protection. Overall, the Moderna vaccine has remained highly effective against severe illness and hospitalization, showing less waning over time than its counterparts Pfizer and J&J. Still, Moderna says its booster shot, given at least 6 months after the second dose, increased protective antibodies by 15-fold 1 month later. Moderna also finding side effects from its booster were similar to those after first and second doses. But today, some panel members arguing the main focus should be on getting the 66 million eligible unvaccinated Americans their first shot.
The people who are in the ICU aren't there because they haven't gotten a third dose. They're there because they haven't gotten any dose.
Tomorrow, the panel will review the Johnson & Johnson booster, along with data on the effectiveness of mixing vaccines. An NIH study also finding there could be an extra benefit for people who got the J&J vaccine to get a boost from Pfizer or Moderna.
I think these early studies are pointing to the potential value of mixing and matching, but it's likely too early, and we're going to really need more data to see sort of full recommendations.
And soon, 28 million children between the ages of 5 and 11 could be eligible for their first vaccine shot from Pfizer as early as November 3rd. Today, President Biden promising those doses will be ready to go.
If authorized, we are ready. We have purchased enough vaccines for all children between the ages of 5 and 11 in the United States.
And so let's get right to Whit Johnson tonight with this key panel, unanimous on Moderna boosters today. So this moves forward. And now this same panel tomorrow examines the Johnson & Johnson booster and also looks at this notion of mixing and matching vaccines, whether that might be effective.
David, that panel will then vote on whether the data is strong enough to authorize the Johnson & Johnson booster shots. But this discussion of mixing and matching vaccines and whether it's effective will also be getting a lot of attention. Right now, there is not a vote scheduled on that, but the early data is promising. It's a big debate, and we expect to hear a lot more in the coming days. David?
All right, Whit Johnson leading us off tonight. Whit, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.